Um, we'll try to understand GST with some short story, just for remembrance or something. Say, suppose you are appointed, you wrote some exam and you got appointed as GST officer, and you are asked to revise GST. You have a formal introduction. You are joining tomorrow and you just want to go through at least the GST sections to make it relevant for you. As you know, Section 1 talks about short title, extent, and commencement. It is mostly common. Section 2 talks about definitions. And Section 3 talks about who are the officers, hierarchy, officers under this act. So, Section 1, short title, extent, commencement. 2 talks about definitions, officers under this act. Section 4 talks about appointment of these officers. Section 3 talks about officers. Section 4 talks about appointment officers. Section 5 talks about power of officers under this act. See, after appointment, they'll have some powers, right? Power of officers under this act. So, short title, extent, and commencement, definitions, officers under this act, appointment of officers, powers of officers under this GST. Section 6, authorization for the like after appointment, you will tell the powers, what are the powers you have. Then you will authorization of officers of state tax or union territory tax as proper officers in certain circumstances. You are making them uh, proper officers, authorization of officers of state tax or union territory tax as proper officers in certain circumstances. So on this talk, up till 6 talks about officers. So short title, extent, commencement, definition, officers under this act, appointment for officers under this act, you will have appointment of officers, power of officers under GST, authorization of officers of state and union territory tax as proper officers in certain circumstances. Section 7 talks about section scope of supply. Scope of supply is very basic thing where GST will be applied. So this is important, very, very important. So Section 7 talked about scope of supply. In scope of supply, taxability of composite and mixed supply. After scope of supply, taxability of composite and mixed supply, and levy and collection. Levy and collection of GST. Okay, Section 9. Scope of supply and composite and mixed supply, levy and collection. Then again, composition levy, power to grant exemptions from tax, power to grant exemptions from tax. Then power not to recover goods and service tax, not levied or short levied as a result of general practice. Power not to recover goods and service tax, not levied or short levied not levied or short levied as a result of general practice. Time of supply of goods, time of supply of services. Time of supply of goods, Section 12 talks about time of supply of goods. Section 13 follows up with time of supply of service. And then Section 14, change in rate of tax in respect of supply of goods or services. So time of supply of goods, time of supply of services, change in rate of tax, in respect of supply of goods and service. So up till 11, we are studying together. So up till 11, if we revise again, uh, short title, extent, commencement. 2 talks about definitions. 3 talks about officers under this act. 4 talks about appointment of officers under the officers. 5 talks about appointment. After appointment, you have powers. Powers of officer under this act. Section 6 talks about authorization of offices of state or union territory tax authorization. So powers, after powers 6, we are giving them as proper officers. Authorization of officers of state or union territory tax as proper officers in certain circumstance. Section 7 is very important. Scope of supply. Section 8, taxability of composite supply and mixed supply. Section 9 talks about levy and collection. Section 10 talks about composition levy again. Section 11 talks about power to grant exemption of tax. Section 11A talks about power not to recover goods and service tax not levied, short levied as a result of general practice. So to sum it up, Section 1 short title extent commencement, 2 definitions, 3 officers under this act, 4 appointment of officers, 5 powers of officers under this act, 6 authorization of officers of state and union territory tax as proper officers in certain circumstances, 7 scope of supply, 8 tax liability on composite and mixed supply, 9 levy and collection, 10 composition levy, 11 power to grant exemptions from tax, 11A power not to recover goods and service tax are not levied or short levied as a result of general practice. As a result of general practice. So we try to remember 1 to 11.